I've told you before, I love Advent. I love the seasons of the church. Immersing ourselves in the church's seasons gives us a chance to remember that we're part of the created order. We're not in control of it all. It gives us a chance to remember who we actually are and whose we actually are. As I was thinking about Advent, I found myself remembering a friend and colleague whom I've worked with for over 20 years. Her name is Barbara, and she's an observant Jew. It's interesting doing political work as an observant Jew, because if we're at a conference, she either has to leave in time to get home before sunset Friday evening, difficult to do, or make sure that she stays over until after sunset Saturday evening. And in that case, she has to arrange for some sort of Shabbat dinner. Usually there are many of us who are more than happy to participate in that with her. We feel honored to be a part of that. Usually there's so many of us that we have to take up a collection to cover it. Barbara can't receive the collection because she has to make sure that she receives it before sunset on Friday because she can't be taking money up during Shabbat. After the dinner is over, one of us has to walk her up to the hotel room to unlock the door and turn on the light, things that she shouldn't be doing during Shabbat. I haven't talked about this with her in depth, but I suspect, because I've seen her break the rules when it becomes really necessary, I suspect that Barbara gets it, that God is not injured or offended if she fails to observe the rules. No one else is hurt or offended. I suspect that she observes these rules because they help her remember who and whose she is. They help her remember why she does the work she does, whether that's political work or raising her family, whatever the work. It reminds her why. It reminds her of her place in the universe, of who and whose she is. Advent's like that. The church's seasons are like that. They're for our own benefit, to remind us of who and whose we are. Now, if you want to forget all about the season and go home and decorate your house for a premature Christmas, if you want to put the baby Jesus in the creche now and set it in the stable and surround him with blinking light-covered snowmen and reindeers, you can do that. God's not going to be hurt or offended, as far as I can tell. You're not going to hurt anybody else. It's your own business. Certainly not my business. What is my business? My responsibility is to make sure that the places for which I'm responsible continue to provide an oasis in the midst of the super hyped premature Christmas. You can decorate your house, you can walk out on the streets, you can open a newspaper or turn on the television and get lots of Christmas. But some places in our lives, some of us at least, want an oasis from that, where we remember what this season is, where we remember who and whose we are and why we do the work we do. It's our job in our parishes, in our seminaries, if we choose in our homes, to provide the space for those who wish to enter into the seasons of the church. May you, however you choose to spend it, have a blessed Advent.